Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to talk about some wrestling news, and we got a lot more stuff to talk about with the AEW saga, the AEW drama with CM Punk. So, first thing to get into is CM Punk. He reportedly said he, quote, hates this place, and not much communication with Tony Khan after the AEW All-In incident with Jack Perry. Tony Khan should put his foot down and fix your company. It's just, I swear, it's the whole locker room versus CM Punk. Like, I know this one wasn't like his fault because Jungle Boy apparently started it, but it's just there's so much drama involved in CM Punk. Instead of talking about a massive show with 81,000 fans and a great main event, it's all ruined with another backstage incident. Of course it is. But following that, we talked about last night, there was a belief that Brian Alvarez reported that they would both be suspended, and they have been suspended. CM Punk and Jack Perry, they have both been suspended by AEW pending the results. I mean, I wish I could pretend to be shocked. It's just CM Punk's always in getting suspended. But who runs the locker room? Like, who are the leaders back there? Because it's just, there's always something going on in AEW. Can't wait for a future Dark Side of the Ring episode with CM Punk and the AEW backstage saga. But hopefully it's a quick investigation. But I knew it was probably I knew it was probably be a quick investigation. But CM Punk, every time he gets suspended, he's like, I got one more in me. It's just imagine having Jack Perry go into business for himself in the biggest pay-per-view of the year. You suspend the other guy as well for calling him out on it behind the curtain. They're like, this company's a clown show. Like, you confront him first and you make physical contact, of course you're gonna get choked. He was asking for it. It just feels like a joke of a company with AEW backstage, man. Like, they have no freaking backstage leaders back there. It just feels like a former AEW star has officially signed with WWE, starts training. If you guys remember Brian Pillman Jr., although WWE is greatly reduced who they signed to developmental deals because of the impending acquisition of the Endeavor Group that is expected to be completed soon with the official merger, WWE and UFC, obviously. A PW Insiders reported Brian Pillman Jr. officially started with WWE NXT this week after taking part in a tryout last month in Orlando, Florida. Obviously, his AEW departure happened when his contract with the promotion expired and his profile was removed from the AEW roster on the company website. This was after he spent 3 years with the company, mostly paired with Griff Garrison, where they worked on Dark Elevation. He wrapped up his independent appearances earlier this month with a loss to then NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion Kerry Morton in Charlotte, North Carolina at the Gathering IV event. So, per the report, there is currently, quote, no rush to debut Pillman Jr. on television. The initial plan is to get him into the PC system and allow him to get his feet under him. So basically, Brian Pillman Jr. signed with NXT. He's basically just, there's no rush to put him on TV right now. I think this is a big W because he'll have some banger matches in NXT with the likes, of Carmelo Hayes, Wes Lee, Mustafa Ali. So I think he's going to be training for a while because they're not in a rush to bring him up, so.
Welcome back to night 2 at the U.S. Open. IBM Match Insight, the AI-powered insight built
So Booker T talked about CM Punk, and he basically gave his thoughts. He says CM Punk got off on the wrong foot, and the younger AEW talent doesn't trust him. Man, Booker T with a good take. And wrestling really is odd these days. It's kind of true. But he's been working with a lot of younger talent, though, since he's returned. Like with Jack Perry, Ricky Starks. It's just... I don't know. He just... Every time something goes wrong, he sometimes gets most of the blame for it. So CM Punk, he hasn't been informed of his AEW suspension yet, as of today at 1:30 p.m. Of course he hasn't. Tony's scared to tell his pet CM Punk that he's been suspended. Just when you think this circus can't get any worse, they find a way to prove me wrong. Like, or maybe he's not suspended, but maybe he is suspended. Who knows? But if you're not going to tell a wrestler they're suspended, I don't get it. Brian Gewirtz doesn't think Vince McMahon cares about AEW breaking attendance record. Well, why should he care? I mean, I don't know why he would care. He probably doesn't even know, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I don't like defending Vince McMahon, but why should he care if they broke an attendance record? Kurt Angle, he says he can't pick up or play with his kids. Quality of life right now, quote, isn't so good. This is why neck and back injuries are so important, because they will linger and stay with you no matter what. Like, those injuries just get worse and worse. I wonder what Impact stem cell treatments can do for them. Yes, this sucks, man. And if you read the article, it's because of the surgeries he's had in the last year. It's mostly because of the surgeries. Like, his body's just like destroyed.
First, possibly because of some girl told him that, like, she was there, maybe think about going there. Okay. Said it was kind of known to happen. It was kind of one of those lucky finds for USC.
So CM Punk, about 3 hours ago, about 2 hours after the report, he was reportedly informed about his AEW suspension by his lawyer. Can they inform him in person or a call? Like, do they just not have the decency to tell him in person? Instead, his lawyer has to inform him. Man, he's gonna walk out of that company soon. I just feel like it's gonna happen. Xavier Woods is not cleared to wrestle after taking an office chair to the head. Wrestling might be scripted, but these dudes go through some serious shit. So apparently, I mean, maybe this is a storyline. I don't know, but I think he suffered whiplash. He can't. I don't know if he's gonna be able to compete next week. So, per report, monitors were knocked down onto Tony Khan, and Samoa Joe was furious and had to convince CM Punk to go out to the ring at AEW All In. I mean, what's the source here? I don't know if I believe this report here. I stopped reading this once it said Brian Alvarez. Because I don't think monitors were knocked down under Tony Khan. It's kind of hard to trust like Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer giving these type of reports. And that per report, there was also an incident with CM Punk and Miro backstage at AEW All In. Man. This is starting to feel like the locker room is trying to push him out of the company. I mean, he's by no means a victim, but this company's just a total mess backstage. It's like you had Jungle Boy, now Miro. So just almost an incident there. And Miro posted a photo of a taxi cab, which some have interpreted him as taking a shot at Punk. And he said apparently there was another near incident with CM Punk, and I heard this from multiple people again. When CM Punk came through the curtain, Miro starts coming up and he's like, "What happened with Jack Perry?" CM Punk is like, "Oh, so now you got a problem with me now?" So they get into arguing. Basically, he's like, "You want to step outside?" I don't know what happened, but I do know they didn't step outside, and CM Punk ended up back in the trainer's room. Apparently, there was an issue with Miro and CM Punk, and that's why Miro's been all over Twitter the last couple of days. So, on CM Punk Wrestling at Chicago and All Out, I was told yesterday the CM Punk match is off the show. So, yeah, it's that. But yeah, there was another near incident. He was like, "So what happened with Jack Perry?" Just asking, and CM Punk's like, "Oh, you got a problem with me now?" It's like CM Punk versus the whole locker room right at this point.
Against a veteran, another veteran, Tower Daniel in Japan, who won the first 6-4.
So, per report, CM Punk, he actually confronted Tony Khan backstage in a heated, intense manner. Bro, like, this is like high school drama. Like, if you're unhappy there, just quit. I mean, there's too many conflicting reports across the board. Like, details are either missing or being just fabricated altogether. It's like, if he actually confronted Tony Khan, yeah, man, if he actually did confront Tony Khan, he's just not happy there. Honestly. But at one point, according to three sources who've heard about the situation, he told Khan he quit and chewed out Khan with harsh phrasing. Harsh phrasing. I mean, take it with a grain of salt. This is from PW Torch. There's no way this actually happened. It's PW Torch, bro. They're as reliable as Trust Me Bro sources. People making up their own sources. That's what Trust Me Bro source is. It's as reliable as a Trust Me Bro source. There's no way, because Punk left an hour after the match and TK was still in Gorilla producing the show. I think this is just cap. So take this with a grain of salt. It's actually from PW Torch. But if this shit is actually real, man, it's kind of hard to just keep seeing Punk there. With just all the backstage drama, if all this stuff is true. So the thing with Jack Perry actually did happen. Miro, it might have happened. The stuff with Tony Khan, I don't know. So yeah, it's really all to say for the wrestling news. So yeah, till next time, I'm out. Peace.